Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to today's Cabral Concept. Glad to have you here on this Motivation and Mindset Monday, where I'm really looking forward to getting into a new topic today and talking about accountability, talking about partnerships, and what you need to look for in order to move yourself forward towards all of your goals, all of your hopes, and all of your dreams in life. A lot of times we believe that we should go it alone, that we need to go it alone, and that sometimes we feel like we're the only one that understands. Now, the problem with that mindset and the problem with that philosophy is that you're going to find that, yes, you will make it a good distance on your own. There's no doubt about that. You can accomplish some really great things. But one is it's not going to be quite as sweet. And the second is I think you'll not have gone as far or could accomplish as much if you began to just gather in, just invite in a couple other people that could be significant in allowing you to accomplish what you're looking to achieve in life. Now, the nice thing is this. If your goals are not you-centric or me-centric, meaning they're only focused around us, the individual who is looking to achieve something, but yet we make that goal greater than ourselves, we'll begin to find that we achieve those goals at a much faster rate, but we also bring to us and attract to us other people that want those things as well. And when we do that, we begin to amplify the power of what we can achieve. So what I want to share with you is this, is that I truly believe we need accountability in every area of our life. Now, it's easy to figure out where we need the accountability the most. And what I try to tell people is this. Think of all of the things that you've accomplished in your life, that you're happy with, that you're proud of, whatever it might be. And just to review, the areas that I usually narrow things down to are your health. So have you accomplished your health-based goals? It's just a yes or no. Have you accomplished them? Okay. What about body? Have you achieved the body that you want? Just a yes or no. It's just for you. It's your own subjective opinion. It can't be my opinion of you. It has to be your opinion of you in every area. Then what about your relationships? Are your relationships where you want them to be? The next one is your career, and you could lump finances with that, or you could put those separate. Maybe your career isn't where you're making your financial stability, right? The things that allow you to pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your car, whatever you need in life, right? And then the last part that we always want to look at is spirituality. So I simply want to say, have you achieved your goals in those particular areas? And if it's a hard no in one area, well, then it's easy for me to say, have you been trying to accomplish your goals in that area? And if you say no, I would say that there's still then a subconscious block, because if you know you want them and you haven't achieved them, well, there's more to it than that, right? Are you not going after them because you're worried about what if you do accomplish that? That's what we call the fear of success, and I've done a show on that. Or are you worried about the fear of failure? Like, what if you don't actually achieve the body or the health or whatever it is that you're going after? What happens then? What happens to the ego at that point? But what I'd say is, let's make this really easy today, because you're going to find out, I'm telling you right now, where you need that accountability partner. And what it is if you have goals in a certain area of your life, let's just use relationships right now. So if you have a goal of achieving a better relationship or finding the perfect partner for you or developing a deeper relationship with your children, and you don't have that, this is where you need an accountability partner. One, you might not know where to start. The second, you might be afraid to start. And the third, you might start, but the first obstacle that you encounter, you stop. And that's what happens for a lot of people. So it's not just you. I mean, this is what happens to everybody. And some people are great at taking care of their finance, but terrible at taking care of their health and body. Other people have great family relationships, take good care of their health, but they struggle month to month in terms of finances. So what I want you to do is simply say, which of those areas are you strong at, right? Give yourself a little pat on the back. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I do a good job taking care of my health. Or say like, hey, I'm doing a great job at keeping and maintaining good weight, whatever it might be. And then just say, okay, but I want to be honest with myself. I'm looking to achieve this and I've been falling short, or I've been wanting to achieve it for years. And for whatever reason, I just can't get started, right? And if that sounds like you, this is the area that you want to find that accountability partner in, or coach, or anyone, right? It can't just be a book at this time, right? So that's what I want to share with you is that, I'm a huge proponent of reading. I'm a huge proponent of learning. That's what you should do first. And here's why. So you should always do the learning and the education first. And it doesn't mean that you need to become an expert, because trust me, you can't become an expert until you actually start doing the work. That's why I mentor a lot of graduate students, a lot of students that are naturopathic doctors, and they're looking to get into the field in the future. But the thing is, and I say this in a very loving manner, you go through school and you're learning so much, and so you think that you know it all. And I've been there, so I can say that too. But you don't. And again, that's not a slight at all. It's that you need to begin working with real people. So, and the reason why I'm saying that is I'm saying you don't need to be perfect in order to get started. Same goes for health coaches. You have to start working with people. One is because you can't learn it all. And the second is that you learn so much more by teaching, working with people, listening to their questions, listening to what's not going well, recalibrating, fine-tuning, and then developing better programs. So that is why education always comes first. It does. And part of that is that you need to read about what it is that you think you do want, right? How do you even know what a perfect relationship is? How do you know what great health is? How do you know what good finances are or good spirituality? Well, you read about something, and you read about maybe someone else's life or what someone else is doing, and you say, okay, well, I'm not going to be that person, because hopefully you don't want to be that person. You want to be you. But what you say is, I really like that person's philosophy. I really like where that person's going. And remember, you never want to emulate that person. You never want to be that person, because you also don't even know what's going on in the other areas of their life. You simply want to be the best version of you. You want your body to be the best version of your body, no one else's. And you want to simply achieve the career and finances that you're looking for. You don't need to be a billionaire because you read someone else was a billionaire, right? You can try to achieve the financial means for what it is that you need. If you're not someone that needs a big house and a fancy car and all those different things, well, you may only need a certain level of income that allows you to provide the life that you want for your children and yourself and take a vacation, whatever it is that you want. And then you add that up and you say, okay, this is the amount of money that I'd like to earn every month. And I say the word earn, I use that on purpose and specifically, and that's because you do need to give value to the world in whatever it is that you do in order to be compensated for that. But, again, it does start with education. It does start with knowledge. And then after that, you say, okay, this is what I think that I want to be doing in life and that I want to achieve in terms of goals for my health, my body, my spirituality, my relationships, and my career and finances. And then you say, okay, now this is what I would do. Now let me dip my toe in the water. And it's funny because I'm working with a lot of people that they want to start a podcast right now. They want to be an influencer on YouTube or an influencer on Instagram, whatever it may be. And I say, okay, and I know that might look glamorous to a lot of people, and they see YouTubers out there doing that. And I just ask them, do you know what that also entails? Do you know how many hours per day that is? Do you know what type of shooting that is and editing? And is that something that you're interested in? Because I know that you want the end result, but do you want the work leading up to that? And you very well may, or you might be like a lot of people and just say, listen, I don't necessarily want to do all of that, but I'm willing to because I really love the end result, whatever that might be. And that's fair. But what I say to people is this, before you go all in, before you kind of burn all the bridges, as they say, what I recommend is that you dip your toe in the water. If you want to be, that YouTube star, you never have to publish the videos if you don't want, but shoot a month or 2 months worth of videos. Go ahead and go through that process. If you want to publish daily or twice a week, you'll be able to work that process and find out what that's like. And you may find out you love it even more than you thought you ever would. Or you might say, you know what? I didn't know that this is all that went into it. I didn't know it was this difficult, or I didn't know it involved these other types of things that I'm not a huge fan of, right? So that's okay. But now you've tested it out, that you don't have to glamorize something that may not be for you. And so that's something I like to share with others as well, and hopefully that's helpful for you. Now, the nice thing is this, though. If you do find something that you want, and you do absolutely have a goal, let's say of losing 50 pounds, or getting rid of your Hashimoto's, or getting rid of your joint pain, or high cholesterol, or high blood pressure, or whatever it is. If those are one of your goals, and you know that it's a must, not a want, like you must do this, you must achieve this for yourself, for your family, for your own mental well-being, then great. Now at this point, it's good to get started. It really is. But at some point, like all of us, you're going to hit a challenge. You'll hit a hard spot. And at that point, what do? Do you fold up and just say, okay, that's it, I'm done? Or do you push on, but the stress is so great that it's not even worth it, right? That's like you're able to keep doing it, but it's super stressful, it's no longer fun, or it's no longer, if you're that stressed, then that could be hurting your health and hurting your body and relationships as well. At this point, that I can't recommend enough, hiring that coach or getting an accountability partner. Or in terms of career, hiring someone that could be your right-hand person. Just to let you know, this is what I see quite often. So in terms of people losing the weight, taking the weight off, or building up their muscles, whatever it might be, building the body that they want, right? Because it is, you're building it. You're literally sculpting it. Don't let anybody kid you. You're sculpting it through good quality nutrition, and you're sculpting it through exercise. Now, the whole de-stress protocol matters, but you can't leave out those parts, nutrition and exercise. So now what do? Well, what a lot of people do, if they can afford it, is they hire a personal trainer. And that personal trainer is someone they meet with twice a week, or ideally 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And that person keeps them honest to themselves. They're not grading you, they're not doing like that, but they will. If you say that it's okay with you, they'll do a weekly weigh-in, or they'll do what I do, which is the Monday, Friday weigh-in, to make sure that you're not doing well Monday through Friday, but then all of a sudden the weekend comes and you gain back the 2 pounds, right? But that accountability coach does a couple things. One, you're paying for the service. What does that mean? Well, you don't want to waste your money. So you're going to do your off-day workouts, or you're going to show up for those workouts. You're not going to bail on them. You're not going to skip those workouts. You're going to do what you need to do because you're also paying for it. Now, the other part is you don't want to let them down. Sometimes, and I would say more than we care to admit, we're okay with letting ourselves down. Nobody really knows, right? It's just us. But we won't let other people down. It's why a lot of times people make an announcement. You say to somebody, listen, keep me honest. This is what I'm going to do. Because if you don't do what you said you're going to do, it's a pretty big shot to the ego. Because people look at you and they ask you the next time you meet up with them, hey, did you ever lose that 30 pounds? Did you ever start going to the gym 3 times a week? Did you start swimming? Did you start training for that sprint triathlon? Did you start doing those spin classes? Or did you start studying for that personal training certification, or the health coaching certification, or investing or real estate certification? They ask you that. So that's why an accountability partner, though, allows you to be accountable to someone else. And they hold you accountable, meaning they hold you accountable monetarily or by checking in with you a couple times a week. And yes, you might feel bad about not upholding your end of the bargain. And I think that's okay. I really do. If it's important enough to you, then that person really is worth their weight in gold. They really are. Now, I also tell people, they say, oh, well, I can't afford a personal trainer. And you very well may not be able to. I understand that. But maybe you could for 12 weeks. Maybe you could for 16 weeks to learn a lot, get the right program. And also, I'm telling you right now, most people can achieve a 20 to 30 pound weight loss within 12 weeks to 16 weeks. You really can. If you lost an average of 2 pounds a week for 12 weeks, it's 24 pounds. That's not unheard of. It really isn't. So I just want you to know, you can accomplish a lot of great things in that time with the right nutrition program and the right exercise program. Just be dedicated to it. Say, listen, I'm committing myself for the next 90 days to this. And that's why I love the 12-week year. If you didn't check that out, just go back. It was just 2 podcasts ago on Monday. It was episode 1515. And I went over our first 90-day check-in. Well, I would love for you to already have those next 90-day goals. And I know for so many of us right now, the things are up in the air. I mean, my 90-day goals have gotten flipped on their head. I was supposed to be doing a video podcast. This podcast you're listening to right now was supposed to be filmed on a daily basis. And I'm a little upset. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not able to do that because it's a goal that I had. And I had an accountability partner for it and everything because I've been waiting years to do this. I know I should have done this for years. So what did I do? I said, listen, I'm not going to do this on my own. Apparently not. Apparently I can't stay consistent with it. So listen, I'm going to have somebody to check in with. And that's what I'm going to do. And now, who planned this, right? I didn't plan to be away from home. I'm literally locked out of my office in Boston. Not a lot of people know that, but we can't enter the building. The building's been quarantined. It's been shut down. No one's allowed on the premises. There's about 100 different offices in my building. I'm one of those 100 different offices, and they just are not allowing people in the building for fear of spread of the virus. So, I have to pivot. And what I say is, okay, well, maybe that's the next 90-day goals. What am I going to do now? Like, this got flipped upside down. Okay, what's my next 90 days? And you can turn it into whatever it is that you want. But again, make it meaningful or you're not going to stick to it. And the second is get an accountability coach. So you can do this with your health, right? You could hire a health coach for 12 weeks if you wanted to. Meet with them every other week. So every 2 weeks, you speak with them on the phone. And they're going to ask you maybe to hand in your nutrition sheets, to hand in your exercise log, to send you a once-a-week email update, whatever it might be. You're going to work that out with your health coach, right? If it's in terms of relationships, well, there are many life coaching and dating-based coaches out there that, again, are worth their weight in gold for you to just it's another set of eyes. It's someone else to talk to listen, say, listen, yes, the other person is maybe not doing what they're supposed to, but what can you control that's within your control? And you start to talk about those things. And especially if it's meaningful to you, they might open your eyes in a different way. And that goes for any part of your life. And then spirituality, the same thing. Like, how can you deepen that? What does it look like for you? And you can begin to work on that. And then there's career. And one thing I just want to share with you is that this is a perfect time. It's literally the perfect time to, instead of being on your phone for an extra hour a day, to use that one extra hour to study something. I mean, if you can read an hour a day, you could read at least 20 pages. I really believe that. I mean, I believe that most people, 90+% can read 10 pages in 30 minutes, 3 minutes per page, okay? So if you can read 20 pages now a day in an hour, well, and that's the minimum, now you're reading 2 books a month. I mean, you can read quite a bit. That's 600 pages of material. So that's what I'm saying to people right now. Like, you can do this. You can take an online course in anything that you want. An online course in stocks, an online course in real estate, an online course in anything. I mean, this is going to show people that universities and colleges are going to be going more virtual. They already have been. Harvard, Columbia, Yale. I mean, they all have programs online. They have master's degrees programs as well as doctorate degree programs online. And this is only becoming more and more popular. One, it's because they're going to be able to enroll more students. That's the first. So if it's a financial gain for the college. But the second is that we live in a virtual world. Why wouldn't we be able to learn virtually too? It just doesn't make any sense. And also, why can't I learn from someone over in the Middle East or in Africa or in Europe just because I'm in Boston? Does that mean I can only listen to people in Boston because that's where I'm from? No. We want to be able to use the power and really the bandwidth speed that we have right now. I gave a talk on this, and bandwidth is what's changing the world, is that we're able to now share video. And we're able to upload video very easily. So this is your chance right now. While you have extra time, carve out 90 minutes, right? I said an hour. Carve out 90 minutes. 30 minutes before anybody else wakes up, 30 minutes at lunch, 30 minutes at the end of the day. Do your best. Try to get in that 90 minutes. Now you're at 3 books a month. Or, I mean, think about it. If you did 90 minutes for, let's say, 5 days a week, what is that? Well, 90 minutes, 5 days a week is going to give you about 7.5 hours of study time, right? So that is going to give you for the month 30 hours that you put into an online course. It's pretty fantastic. And this is what I found. A lot of people that we coach and teach as well, they just find that they love it and that they want to spend more time doing it. And so that's why choose a subject that you love and it won't feel like work. One thing I want to share with you just career-wise too, and something that's helped me tremendously, is if you are, let's say you're self-employed or you're running your own business or whatever it might be, one thing that I found phenomenally helpful is to understand your strengths. So I know what my strengths are. My strengths are I love having my head in a book or my head researching, basically researching articles. I love learning, and then I love teaching. But I've noticed a long time ago, and even though I've run multiple wellness centers and all those fun things, is that's not what I loved doing. What I've always loved learning and teaching. That's what I love. So what I've done in my businesses is I've actually hired people that are great operators. I have great COO of Equilibrium Nutrition. I've got a great director of operations. In the future, there'll be a vice president of operations. People that are great at making sure that the vision that I've set and that the education that I'm trying to teach and the mission that I'm trying to evolve around the world is happening. So it allows me to do what I do, and then I can step back and enable people that are much better on the operations side to do what they do. And that's what I was talking about at the very beginning of this show, is that you have to find out what it is that you truly love. And then if you're able to partner with someone else, that's a great synergy, the yin to your yang, that they'll then be able to help you exponentially grow whatever it is that you're looking to do. A personal trainer does that with your body transformation. A health coach does that for your health, or obviously a doctor or a practitioner, right? Integrative health practitioner. A life coach or someone that knows a lot about spirituality, or your local priest or rabbi, wherever it might be in your religion, they could help you with the spirituality end of it. And then a dating-based or relationship-based counselor or psychologist, anyone that could help you with relationships as well. But what happens is when you begin to come together with one other person, you have two minds that come together. And Napoleon Hill said many, many years ago, when he wrote many of his famous books, he said, when you bring multiple minds together and you're trying to solve a common problem, you get an exponential benefit. And that means you don't get a 1 + 1 = 2. You get a 1 + 1 = 5. You get something exponentially greater than the two of you, because you start to hear things in a different way. You learn things in a new way outside of yourself, and you begin to be able to bounce ideas off each other. You begin to generate new things that you've never even heard or seen before. And how did that happen? Neither one of you had it. Well, the two minds came together. And when you come together to serve a common purpose that's hopefully even greater than yourself, that goes well beyond yourself, you're going to be able to achieve things in life that you never even thought possible. Hopefully this message has been helpful today. As always, if it has, please do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care. Before you go, I wanted to share a personal story with you. The real reason I began to get well finally is because I figured out what was wrong with me. And that might seem pretty obvious, but I went from doctor to doctor for over 2 years before discovering at-home functional medicine lab testing. These are the labs that enabled me to finally figure out what was wrong with my hormones, blood sugar, electrolytes, and gut health. And once I knew what was wrong, I could then follow a proven plan in order to rebalance my body from the inside out. This is why I believe so strongly in functional medicine lab testing, and why I've made it my mission to share these labs with the world. Now at equa.life, you can order an at-home lab test or a lab bundle for you and your family and be able to complete it within the week. Plus, the EquaLife difference is that you're not left to try to read and figure out these labs on your own. We explain what your lab numbers mean, what they mean in the much bigger picture, and then how to go about rebalancing your body in order to heal. To see our full selection of lab tests, or to set up a free lab selection call to find out what labs may be best for you, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. And do remember, we ship these all over the world. To find out more and to set up your free lab selection call, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. That's EQUI.LIFE/labs.